Life is a journey filled with countless moments, some filled with joy and others marked by challenge, loss, or uncertainty. Yet, through it all, there is a thread that runs through every experience: God's blessings. These blessings may not always come in the form we expect or at the time we desire, but they are ever present, flowing in abundance for those who trust in His love and purpose. The promise of God's constant presence from the moment you take your first breath. You are surrounded by God's presence. His love covers you like a warm blanket, offering protection and assurance that no matter what comes your way, you are never alone. Life can bring unexpected trials, and in those moments, it may feel like you're facing them all on your own. But God has promised that He will never leave you nor forsake you. His presence is constant, even when you don't feel it. In times of doubt, His faithfulness is unwavering, and in times of sorrow, His comfort never fails. God's blessings are often most evident in the quiet moments, when we are still enough to hear His voice and feel His gentle hand guiding us. God's timing. Perfect and unfailing, there are times when the road seems long, and it feels like you're waiting forever for something to change. You may wonder why your prayers haven't been answered yet or why certain dreams haven't come to fruition. But rest assured, God's timing is always perfect. He sees the bigger picture, and He knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Sometimes the waiting process is part of your preparation. It's in the waiting that you grow, that your faith deepens, and that you learn to trust Him in ways you never thought possible. God's timing is not bound by our understanding of time. While we may rush toward certain outcomes, He is orchestrating everything in your life in the perfect order. There is no need to fear or doubt the process. You can trust that when the time is right, God will deliver what you've been waiting for. When you surrender your plans to Him, His blessings will unfold in ways that surpass your expectations. Trust in the timing of your life and believe that God is always working in the background, even when you can't see it. You are already blessed. Too often, we find ourselves looking for blessings outside of ourselves, focusing on what we lack or what we desire. But the truth is, you are already blessed. The fact that you are breathing, the fact that you have life, is a blessing in itself. You are blessed with the gift of time, the gift of opportunity, and the gift of love. Each day is an opportunity to see the hand of God in your life, whether in small, quiet moments or in grand, life-changing events. God's blessings are not limited to material things. His blessings encompass everything from the love of family and friends to the peace that comes from knowing Him. His blessings include the ability to overcome trials, to grow through pain, and to discover new purpose in every season. In the rush of life, it's easy to overlook these blessings. But when you take a moment to pause and reflect, you'll realize how much God has already done for you. Spiritual blessings. Transformation from the inside out. The blessings of God are not merely external. They are transformative, changing us from the inside out. Through His grace, He molds us into the people we are meant to be. We are all on a journey of spiritual growth, and while this process can be difficult at times, it is essential for our development. God's blessings are not just about outward success, but about becoming more aligned with His will and purpose for our lives. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for transformation. God uses these experiences to shape your character, to strengthen your resolve, and to draw you closer to Him. Whether it's through suffering, joy, or simply living out your daily life, every moment is a chance for you to grow in your faith and become the person God designed you to be. The greatest blessing of all is the transformation that takes place within, as God's love fills your heart and His grace empowers your actions. Faith and trust. The key to unlocking God's blessings, the key to receiving God's blessings is faith and trust. Faith is believing in something greater than yourself, believing that God has a plan for your life and that His plan is good. Trusting in Him means releasing control and allowing Him to lead you down paths that you may not have expected but that will ultimately be for your benefit. Trusting in God's plan doesn't always make sense to our human minds, but when we choose to let go of our need to control and instead place our faith in His hands, we open ourselves up to receiving the abundant blessings He has in store. When you trust in God's plan, even when things don't go as expected, you are saying to Him, "I believe in your timing. I believe in your goodness. I believe that you will take care of me." With this trust comes a peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace guards your heart, filling you with hope and confidence that no matter what happens, God is in control. His blessings flow effortlessly when you surrender to Him and allow His will to lead the way. Overcoming obstacles through God's strength. One of the greatest blessings God offers is His strength. Life can be difficult, and sometimes the challenges we face seem insurmountable. But with God's help, there is no obstacle too big to overcome. His strength empowers us to rise above difficulties and press on, even when it seems impossible. When you rely on His strength, you will find that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. God doesn't promise that life will be easy, but He does promise that He will always give you the strength you need to overcome anything that comes your way. Even when you feel weak, God's power is made perfect in your weakness. It is in those moments of struggle that His strength is most evident. Through Him, you can endure and triumph, knowing that He has already overcome the world. God's provision. Always enough. Another of God's incredible blessings is His provision. In a world that often feels uncertain, it can be easy to worry about the future. But God has promised to provide for all your needs. He sees what you need before you even ask, and He is faithful to supply it. Whether it's emotional support, financial provision, or simply the strength to get through another day, God is always there to meet you where you are. God's provision doesn't just come in the form of material things. It also comes in the form of relationships, opportunities, and guidance. God blesses you with what you need when you need it. His provision is never late, never lacking, and always perfectly suited to your needs. You can trust that He will provide exactly what you need in every season of your life. Living in God's blessings. A life of gratitude and purpose. Living in God's blessings means living a life of gratitude. When you recognize the countless ways in which God blesses you, your heart is filled with thankfulness. Gratitude opens the door for even more blessings to flow into your life. When you focus on what God has already done for you, your heart overflows with appreciation, and that gratitude becomes a magnet for more of His goodness. Purpose is another key aspect of living in God's blessings. God has a unique plan for each one of us, and His blessings are designed to lead us toward fulfilling that purpose. As you seek Him and follow His guidance, you will discover new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that help you step into the purpose He has set for you. Life becomes a journey of fulfillment as you align your desires with God's will and allow His blessings to guide you toward the life He intended. God's love is boundless, His grace is abundant, and His blessings are endless. As you continue on your journey, remember that every day is filled with opportunities to experience His goodness. Trust in His plan, embrace His timing, and walk forward with faith. The blessings of God are already yours. They are waiting for you to receive them. God's abundant grace, empowering your journey. God's grace is an unmerited gift that flows abundantly into every area of your life. Grace is not just forgiveness, but also empowerment. It is through God's grace that you are given the strength to face each day, the wisdom to make decisions, and the courage to move forward even when the road seems difficult. Grace is the wind beneath your wings, lifting you higher and higher in the journey that God has prepared for you. When you look at your life, it's easy to see the areas where you've struggled. Yet, it is in those very moments that God's grace shines the brightest. He meets you right where you are, not when you've fixed yourself or when everything in your life is perfect, but right in the middle of your journey, as you are. His grace covers your weaknesses and transforms them into strengths. With grace, you are equipped to handle any challenge that comes your way. God's grace is free, but it is also powerful. It doesn't just change you. It equips you to bring about change in the world around you. As you receive God's grace, it flows through you, touching the lives of others. Grace gives you the ability to forgive, to love, and to help others grow. This is how God works. His blessings are never just for you. They are meant to be shared. The more you experience God's grace, the more you are called to extend that grace to others, spreading His love and blessings wherever you go. The power of prayer, unlocking God's blessings. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools we have as believers. It is not simply a way to ask for things, but it is a means of building a relationship with God. Through prayer, we connect with our Heavenly Father, seeking His wisdom, guidance, and blessings. When we pray, we open our hearts to His will and invite His presence into every situation in our lives. God's blessings are often unlocked through prayer. When you pray, you align your heart with His, and that alignment brings clarity and direction. Prayer brings peace when there is chaos, joy when there is sorrow, and strength when you feel weak. It is in those quiet moments of prayer that God reveals His plans and promises for you. As you trust Him with your desires, He will guide you to the right decisions and open doors that no one else can close. When you pray, remember that God's answers are always in alignment with His perfect will for your life. Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes it's not yet, and sometimes it's I have something better for you. Regardless of the answer, trust that it is always for your good. Prayer deepens your relationship with God and allows you to receive His blessings in ways that are beyond your understanding. Living in expectancy. God's blessings are always near. Living in expectancy means living with the belief that God's blessings are always just around the corner. Too often, we become discouraged when things don't happen on our timeline, but God is always working behind the scenes, arranging everything for your benefit. You may not see the full picture now, but if you trust in His perfect plan, you will soon see how beautifully everything fits together. Expectancy means believing that the best is yet to come. It means looking ahead with confidence, knowing that God's favor is resting on you and that His plans for your future are filled with blessings. Even when things look bleak, keep your eyes on the future and trust that God's blessings are already on their way. God loves to surprise us with His blessings. Sometimes He will give us exactly what we asked for, but at other times, He will give us something even greater than we imagined. Live in a state of expectancy, because you never know when God will reveal the next blessing in your life. And when it comes, you will be ready to receive it with open arms and a heart full of gratitude. God's blessing of relationships. One of the greatest gifts that God gives us is the gift of relationships. Whether it is family, friends, or a community of believers, the people in your life are blessings in themselves. Relationships are not only about receiving love but also about giving it. They are an opportunity for you to reflect God's love, grace, and goodness into the lives of others. In the right relationships, God will show you His favor. He will bring people into your life who will support you, challenge you, and help you grow. He will also guide you in building relationships that bring healing, restoration, and growth. Sometimes, God's blessings come through the people He places in your life, whether for encouragement, wisdom, or comfort. However, not all relationships are meant to stay forever. Some people are in your life for a season to help you grow, while others may be in your life for a lifetime. Trust in God's wisdom to help you recognize the relationships that are meant to be nurtured and those that may need to be released. God's blessings come through the people He places in your life, and each relationship has the potential to teach you more about His love and purpose. Healing, restoration through God's blessings. God is a healer. His blessings come in many forms, and one of the most profound is the healing that He brings to our bodies, minds, and spirits. Whether you are struggling with physical illness, emotional wounds, or spiritual burdens, God's healing power is available to you. His love is the balm that soothes our pain, and His grace is the strength that carries us through times of suffering. If you are in need of healing, trust that God sees you. He knows the depths of your pain and is already at work to bring restoration. Healing takes time, but every day you move closer to full restoration as you continue to trust God's timing and His power. God heals in ways that go beyond the physical. He heals relationships, broken hearts, and wounded spirits. He makes all things new, and His restoration is always more than you could have hoped for. God may use people, circumstances, and His word to bring healing to your life. His healing power is not limited to the here and now. It is eternal. When God heals, He does so in a way that is complete, and His blessings will continue to pour into your life as you experience the full restoration He has for you. Trust in the goodness of God's plan. Sometimes, we get caught up in our own plans and ideas of how our lives should unfold. We set goals and timelines, and when things don't go according to our expectations, it can be discouraging. However, the good news is that God's plan for your life is far better than anything you could ever design for yourself. His thoughts are higher, and His ways are greater. When you surrender your plans to God and trust in His goodness, you open yourself up to the incredible blessings He has in store. His plans may look different than yours, but they are always better. God knows what you need, and He knows how to lead you to the life that is most fulfilling and aligned with His purpose for you. The more you trust in His plan, the more peace you will experience, knowing that God is leading you exactly where you need to go. God's blessings are not just for today, they are for your future. His blessings build upon one another, leading you to greater things. Trust in the goodness of His plan for your life, knowing that He will provide everything you need along the way. Living with a heart of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful attitudes you can adopt in your life. When you live with a heart of gratitude, you open the door for God's blessings to flow freely into your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. It helps you recognize the many blessings in your life that you may have overlooked. When you begin to thank God for all He has done, you will begin to see even more blessings unfold before your eyes. A heart of gratitude not only changes your perspective but also attracts more blessings. When you express your thanks to God, you acknowledge His goodness, and He delights in blessing you even more. Take time every day to reflect on the blessings you have, no matter how small they may seem. In every moment, there is something to be thankful for, and as you live in gratitude, you will experience the fullness of God's blessings.